Son of a bitch.
Oh. All right. So this is the Solid Habit Show, and we're today we're going to be talking about nature versus technology. I put the road to the metaverse. That's a big thing that's going on right now. I got with me
Come on.
Jennifer Denny and Dan Denny, and this I'm LG Lawrence Green, and we're going to just talk about our thoughts on what's it about. And I know you had a chance to see. I had a post about what's what's better, nature or technology, and usually one way one way we go about this is just say what your thought is, your first initial answer is, and then we'll come back around. I would say nature myself. I'm gonna go with that. How about you, Dan?
I'd say nature.
Okay, and you, Jen?
Both.
All right, both. Okay. If you had to pick one, which would you pick?
Probably more technology.
Okay, so we got a few different views. How about Dan? Why would you say nature?
Well, because in the ultimate end, if you think about it, technology can fail. Nature doesn't fail.
That's true. Been around a long time, and there's that track record that I think sometimes, yeah, and that's the kind of why I see it is like you. It's so easy to turn around and see some type of technology, and it's harder to actually get involved with nature. So if you don't actually have that in your mind, it's easy to not have it as part of not have it develop. And there's a lot of benefits that we're not always considering. Um, how about you, Jen? What's your reasoning for technology is better?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I
I know
I
you want both, but
I can do the outside things, but to me it gets boring after too long.
hmm
I don't like to sit and fish because it's boring.
right,
Walking and the stuff, yeah, no.
and that's
I
that's
used to,
huge.
yeah,
You used to what?
I like to climb trees and stuff, or I used to, but no. As I got older, it was more technology and stuff than it was outside.
So at a younger age, you were more involved with being outdoors. And,
Until I was about 17.
hmm and I guess it's interesting with me. I kind of always lived in a city. I have roots. Some of my family had a farm at one point, and it was pretty cool to go around there and actually I have some dreams of actually being able to rebuild that farm sometime, or maybe have my own separate farm. Um,
My grandparents have one out there. My uncle Dean has it now.
okay, and I know that's
So yeah, we grew up with a farm, but we live mostly in town.
hmm and then so Dan, and what was your experience in nature growing up, or what's your connection
Kind
with?
of the old joke. My dad took me out so he could never hear me scream.
Oh, okay.
No,
Hey,
I actually, as I've gotten older, appreciated the times that, oops, sorry, being out in nature. Damn it, my apologies. Um,
okay.
Being out in nature was kind of I guess, the funner part of my life, really, because we go out and cut trees and, fish, hunt, make life what it's worth. Basically, spend time with the people you know that aren't going to be around forever.
Yeah, and was that vocalized then, or was it something you're realizing now?
When I was younger, as I got to be like a preteen into teen years, it was like, oh, do I really have to? You know,
Right.
but now as I've gotten older, I cherish those times. Like
hmm
my grandfather's gone. He's the one that taught me how to fish. Uh, and my dad and stuff, getting older, stuff like that. I'd like to spend more time going out, throwing a fishing pole in the water with him, realize kind of, I guess you could say, realizing that, all the things that they ever taught me, I'm never going to forget.
Absolutely.
Technology. out there, old fashioned tactics don't fail. Living off the land, camping, but in today's society, tech, technology can actually fail you.
Yeah, and that's a good point. Like I know the point of technology is to give us better opportunities, give us ability to do things faster, easier in some way, maybe give us opportunities that we wouldn't have. But it's also I do wonder about that if we had a system or society all technology ran. It's like, what about when internet goes out? Like I've lived somewhere where the internet goes out quite a bit. I know there's certain cities, like bigger cities, like I've gone to like maybe Orlando and I've been there and my internet works so much better there. But where I live, the majority of the time, it's like it's shoddy. It's like sometimes it's ready, sometimes it's not. And
And that's kind of how it is here in South Dakota. We just switched to 5G with like last year, and it's still hit and miss.
hmm and then have you guys heard about the metaverse?
I've heard a little bit about it now that Facebook and stuff like that changed to Meta.
Uh-huh, exactly. And that kind of makes me wonder is I guess there's thoughts about it, or is it kind of like the Matrix? Is it kind of like some type of new plug-in where you're uh, I guess the way I looked at it, it kind of looks like people would be involved with virtual reality, and I don't know you've seen some movies about it, and I can see some benefits from it. I can see some harms. Like I think sometimes our kids are too immersed in it, and I wonder when you had that virtual reality thing where everything's kind of given there. It's like, is that going to make things uh, harder? Are people going to be in there maybe too long? Which is some things we already experience from the technology that we do. We want our kids to go for walks. We want our kids to exercise. We want our kids to eat well. It's like, and I think it's hard when you have those distractions or maybe even more intense. Like, what are your guys' thoughts on that?
Well, he doesn't like the kids with phones.
Already, okay.
See, that's what I was saying. I prefer that to be the nature part. Go outside and play.
Yeah,
Get some sunlight. Get some, go get a little tiny bit of frostbite, kind of stuff, Go out
experience
and play in the
real
snow.
world.
No, ours like to do that, but they don't like to do it as much as they like to play the phones.
It is a very big attraction. I mean, my 7-year-old daughter is constantly saying, "Hey, when did I get a phone? When did I get a phone?" And it's like, "You're 7. We don't need a phone." It's like I understand is part of the big pull for her is she wants to use a phone for the games or even for the social aspect. And at the same time, it's like that's also opens up a Pandora's box to where she would have access uh, to a world we're not ready for her to have access to.
Yeah,
We've currently gone through that with Jasmine, with the world we don't want her exposed to right readily.
yeah, that's
Mm,
why she doesn't get a phone.
Yeah. And Dusty, on the other hand, is quite technologically sound. But the big thing is there too is my big concern about technology is predators. I mean,
right.
they can pose as a 12-year-old girl and this and that. So it's, I guess overall it's the protective father aspect of it that I just don't believe that they should have access to the technology right currently.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm not too sure how well versed I'm in the old the old technology. Like when my son was, our son's 20 years old now, and I remember when he was 10 and he was getting involved in the internet and entering that world. I wanted him to limit that, and I'm not really sure I was really that knowledgeable about keeping people out, like securing your internet, making sure that people aren't involved with that. And especially it's more important. It's like because we're giving these kids their information. They might know the password, or they know they got somebody asking them for something, and I don't know if I even know it well enough to tell them, hey, don't give out this information. I mean, obvious ones are like, don't give out your address, don't tell anybody your full name, don't give out your phone number. But it's like, what else do we need to know? And 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 they kind of have free reign in these technologies, so they can. It's not so simple to stop them. I mean,
Well, and
that's
that's
kind of
like everybody tells me. I'm interested in cryptocurrency.
hmm
Yeah.
Trying to learn a little bit about cryptocurrency. Problem is it's all technology based. It's all, the risk is extremely high. And it's like, is that the kind of risk I want to take? You
true.
know,
Yeah, that's it. There's a risk involved.
I mean,
Mm,
that's kind of like saying, okay, I'm going to go play in the stock market, and I have no idea what to buy or how much to buy. And
it
that's
really
like
does
my
seem a lot
four
like the
like with
stock
my
market.
401k through my workplace.
hmm
Everything I've seen on it is it seems like they dabble in the stock market with the money I'm putting in for my retirement,
True, exactly.
and I'm a little uneasy about that.
And then the have you heard about the NFTs? That's something I recently just heard about.
Yeah, I've kind of heard a little bit about them. It's still fairly new to me.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess what understand from what an NFT is, it's they're creating a digital world that is becoming a alternate world to the one we have right now. And people are actually investing in it. Like you can buy a object, like for instance, Tom Brady sold one of his footballs. I'm not sure exactly which one it was, but one of his footballs, he actually made a digital version and sells it. He still has the original football with him, but that basically it's like he made a copy that he can actually sell. I think he actually probably has sold that at that point. But then you can also sell real estate. You can actually buy the digital version of the home you're in, and buy other digital versions. I heard of it's interesting. It's like I don't know the implications of that. I mean, that sounds risky. I mean, you wouldn't want to spend money you don't have. I mean, money that has to go towards real life expenses, but it's interesting. And I think even that is probably a component of the metaverse. Uh, so I mean,
I
it's
don't
interesting. I mean, I
really
guess it,
think having virtual versions of people's houses is actually a good deal.
what's that?
If you have virtuals of houses, especially in real estate, people can break into those houses virtually and have a backup plan of where everything is.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't thought
And why
about
would you want to make a copy of your football and sell it? It's not
I
like
mean,
he's
like,
the hottest guy in the world.
yeah, that's a. I mean, I guess anybody. Sometimes I guess people will sell whatever they can sometimes, and I guess is there a point where it's going too far, or is it a fad? Like one guy
Well,
was
if you
saying,
have to sell a copy of your football and you're a big name football player, something is wrong. You're either way obsessed with yourself or you're just too greedy.
yeah, there could be greed involved. I mean, then there's also the point. I mean, they're kind of doing that already with the regular footballs. Like they're already signing things. I know. I've seen. You'll see some of like the retired athletes, they'll go to like autograph stores or card stores or sports stores and they'll sign things. So I mean, there kind of is that aspect of it. And I've seen like one of our hometown heroes, seen that he does stuff like that, and people
Yeah, well,
people
that's
root for
one
him.
thing. That's the retired ones.
Mm-hmm.
But they fine Cam Newton every time he gave up when he played for the Carolina Panthers. Fined him for every time he went into the touchdown, but himself he can give a ball to a fan. They would fine him for the
Uh,
football.
that's
So I
that's a good
mean,
point.
why can Tom Brady go and do it and not someone else?
Well, or
Mhm.
look at this fancy game ball he just took back. You know, the guy gave it back to him, but in return, Tom Brady gave the guy a Bitcoin, which is worth like $500,000 or some crap like that, or 126,000 or some weird thing I saw. It's like I'm not a big fan of Tom Brady at all, but I mean, you know, he gave you his game ball, which is worth $500,000 supposedly. You
Mhm.
give it back to the guy because you didn't want it, but in return, he gives you $162,000 Bitcoin. You know,
Yeah.
so it's kind of a, you know, I don't know if I call it greed, but I call it definitely something amiss.
I mean, it's interesting. I mean, they have so much ability. It seems like a guy in Tom Brady's position can pretty much do whatever they want. A lot of athletes can, a lot of celebrities, but it's also brings up a good question: is like, what barriers do we have towards nature and technology? It's like not all of us can do those things. I mean, I guess we could talk about. I would like to talk about nature first. It's like, I mean, are we able to use nature like we want to, or are we limited in that?
Well, I mean, I'll be the first one to throw that one out.
Okay.
I guess, I guess, in my opinion, yes, nature can do most things. Unfortunately, in healthcare and items like that, technology is where you're going to need it. But sometimes being out in the open is where you need to be, like with mental health, you know,
That's
stuff
huge.
like that. But yeah, now surgically, yeah, technology is grand. I
Right.
mean, if not, you'd be crippled up. I mean, look, we can get artificial knees, artificial hips, elbows, shoulders, you know, different items like that with technology. Nature can't give you that, but it can sure take it away. So, I mean, in my aspect there, I still would back nature 100%, but I also understand that technology has its purpose in the world.
I don't know. My company uses both, technically. Health and wellness companies use both,
Mhm.
nature and technology.
I mean, I guess some of the things I've been surprised. I think I was at started my life more as a city boy, and I remember fast food a lot. You know, my parents would make some food sometimes, and a lot of junk food, and a lot of TV watching, video games, even the Atari,
Mm.
um,
The old Atari.
VHSs, right? And then and I spent a lot of life going through stuff like that. I remember my first um seeing myself pull away from like junk food was one day as a senior in high school. Someone said, "Hey, sodas slow you down as an athlete." So I stopped drinking sodas, and then I realized, and I started eating healthier as I got older. And then even after college, I started learning about
Use it.
yeah, getting in nature, how that affects your mind, how it allows it allows you to be more creative, it relaxes you, or even things like about like grounding. Have you guys heard of grounding before?
Yep.
Okay, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I feel like back growing up. I mean, nowadays I don't get to do it as much as I'd probably like to. But when I was out in the mountains in the forest, you know, like helping my dad and my grandfather and stuff, that you know, yeah, I always felt grounded. I felt that that's where I was meant to be. You know, out in the open. You know,
Mm,
out in the fresh air. I always felt like I was grounded there. You know, that at the my late grandfather's homestead. You know,
hmm.
just up in the middle of nowhere, up in the mountain. Nothing to bug me.
Yeah,
No city to bug me. No crime. No, no fear of getting involved with drugs or anything else like that.
that's true. I mean, you hear a lot of these. I guess they're kind of correctional, or they're kind of second chance type opportunities for kids that maybe get in trouble, but they go outdoors, they go to ranches, stuff like that. Part of that working and part of being part of nature can be something that also get things in line. But then, so some people are fortunate to not get in any trouble, but still be able to experience that and just kind of go with it.
So, but overall, I mean, like I said, I prefer nature. I mean, but if you also look, I'm also a tradesman too. So I work in the trades field. So, you
we
know,
have to have our
how many
tools.
guys, I like to do stuff with my hands. I build stuff. I smoke meat. I, grill. That's old classic nature stuff, ancestry, so that's how I look at it.
And
Carrying on my ancestors.
It's interesting too. I mean, I think that our ancestors, like, what did they do differently? Like, I think like I don't know how common shoes were in the past, but I do know like no, they didn't have like the rubber soles like we have now. Like I've heard that some companies even come out with like the flat like a flat sole where your foot can be as natural as possible. Some people say that cushion in our shoes is actually can affect our posture or affect our health, affect our mobility and being connected to the earth. Even like barefoot or at least a thinner sole can be important. I've tried that a little bit. I mean, part part of the negative is like are you could potentially have pain at first when you have like a thin sole or you walk around barefoot. But it's one of those things like are we able to go that route to see if it's going to benefit us in the long run? Have you guys heard of that at all, or your thoughts? What
Yeah, they
kind of
have those little like those water shoes that are shaped like feet.
yeah? I've had actually had a similar pair of those. Those like the Vibram,
Yeah,
the ones where they actually have the toes.
yeah.
hmm
Me, if it's gonna be that way, I'd rather just walk in with no shoes.
No shoes. Oh yeah,
Yeah, she's
I
my
guess
barefooted queen, I call her.
there you go.
I don't like shoes.
She loves being barefoot. Unfortunately, with I've got severe flat feet, so I can't go without shoes because it hurts.
mm.
See, that's the problem I've got is I got really severe flat feet, so being barefooted for a long period of time actually hurts.
Not me. I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I kind of. I mean, yeah. I wonder if sometimes it's one of those initial things. I mean, obviously hurts a lot. That's real life. People don't do it very often. But like I remember there was a time where I was learning a little about reflexology, which was in the terms I was looking at it, it was really your feet. It was like you could do little foot massages, and it talked about how your organs connect to certain parts of your body. Your feet actually connect to certain organs in your body. So
Yep, I've read
by
about it.
massaging your feet, you heard about that? Oh, and it
Yes,
was
I've heard about
interesting because the guy.
reflexology.
Okay, I was when I was reading it like a long time ago. It was talking about how when you if you walk on rocks, it actually gives your foot a massage. And I was trying it, and it's obviously it was painful when I was first doing it. But then when you're done, no, it's like you do get the results of that foot massage. Um, and yeah, it's something to try. Some people can try out there, and then actually they even these days actually have a mock rock setup today. I can just have in the house. Um, but and then but yeah, it's interesting as far as like what things we can do in nature, like in order to improve our well being. It's like so you've experienced like going out. It's a really big connection to your ancestors, Dan. Um, and then you walk in barefoot, Jen.
Oh yeah.
hmm
I even
Where
out of the farm, I walk in barefoot.
where do you where do you prefer to do that at?
everywhere.
Everywhere? Okay.
I just can't in stores.
Right, yeah. Places I know when I was first learning about it, I try to do it at the gym, and the gym they come up to you real quick and be like, you
Yeah.
can't put your shoes on. And it made sense too, but then there's also some people will tell you for your best workouts you want to be barefoot because that's going to give your feet have your feet touching the ground, and it I guess they say our feet have a lot of nerves in them.
Oh, they do.
So and when we're wearing the shoes, it's basically our bodies aren't being able to activate certain parts of our neural system.
That's also helps your balance and your posture if you don't
Hmm.
have your shoes on.
Yeah,
My
that's
stepmom has the books you're talking about with the different spots on your feet that go for certain spots on your body. It is actually true.
hmm and in that line, another one of those things that you don't know if something that people out there can try is my mom years ago she went to this seminar, and the guy was teaching eye correction. Like this, because the guy that was teaching the class, he had been legally blind, but he was able to use eye exercises in order to correct his vision. And it was part of it was like relaxation exercises. Some of it was just focusing on objects. But one of the more surprising things that he said was if you go outside at dark, um, it actually activates part of your eyes that don't necessarily get activated that often. And I think he was saying like you need like I don't know like well, I guess it takes a while for your eyes to even get activated. So I think like need like an hour and a half actually being in the dark for it to activate your eyes. But it's interesting. Like I guess it's different rods in your eyes.
Well, your eyes gotta when you're in the dark, go from like a bathroom or something to the dark living room. Your eyes have to do that adjustment just to be able to see where you're going.
That's definitely part of it. And then but then even being outside, like he was saying that that produced a different effect also.
It
And then
does. I think it does.
and he even
Well,
like oh go ahead.
yeah, the kids and Mama Bear here can tell you that I'm very well versed at walking through places in the dark.
Okay.
I walk through our house in the dark, not hit anything. I can walk around outside in complete zero darkness and not hit anything.
Not mama.
I showed her a couple times in a prior job that I had. I could walk through my company in the dark without turning any lights on. Through the warehouse and stuff. Knew where I was going.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "You don't hit anything," and I'm like, "Nope. I know. I've got the layout of my warehouse down to a T in the dark."
Yeah, I know
That's
my
good.
house. But that still doesn't stop me from hitting the things.
Yeah, but I
Or
guess I guess
or falling.
you got. I guess that's a real good representation. Um, yeah, again, it makes me think of a few things like how our brains I've heard that our brains are really good at like mapping out a place. Like this one actually a couple of tricks I've learned recently about using your eyes in some interesting ways and using that mapping system. One is when you if you want to remember something really easily, like you want to memorize like a script or just a phrase. If you look at if you read out the phrase that you want to memorize, and then you write out the first letter of each word, just the first letter, and you keep the punctuation, you keep how the lines are, and then you start reading just based on the first letter. You read that a few times, and then you do it without it. You'll have it memorized. Now it's just
Hmm.
for a short while, but that's I guess the reason why I bring up the mapping system in that example is because it's supposed. It seems like it's your brain looking at the sentence, looking at the words, then remembering the first letter, and then remembering it without that first letter.
Well, they say the
So,
brain only retains what it needs to know at the time it
mhm.
needs to know it.
and it can be conditioned. It can be conditioned. And then another thing I learned was when we're reading, I think we've all been in that situation where we're reading something and we're like, I'm too tired, or this is
Mm.
boring. I don't want to read any more of it. Well, a trick I learned for that was if you actually, instead of focusing on the words, you focus on the spaces, it allows it tricks your brain into saying, hey, this doesn't matter, it's boring. It just allows it to flow. So you're still reading the words, but your brain is focused on the space, which I don't know, it's interesting. Probably a good trick for our kids out there that
You
have
mean
to
if
do
you get
reading they
them
don't
to
want to do.
read?
Right. Well, that might make it a little bit less of a task for them.
Yeah.
But then,
Well, mine
so
like to read. It's just
technology and
Dusty likes the Roblox game,
oh yeah,
but it's not a
I
bad
know.
game because it teaches her. There's different games inside this version in this game, and the game she's plays it teaches her how to make money by having a job, paying her bills. If she doesn't pay something, she gets shut off. I mean, it teaches
Right.
different varieties of stuff in there, and it's
Oh, you know,
virtually just like that. It's really cool.
that reminds me. My
I couldn't
daughter
do it, but
plays this the Sims game. I don't know if you heard of Sim City.
yep,
Yep, I'm familiar with the Sims.
that's it.
You
His
like
favorite game.
my daughter was playing it, and she made a character of me, and then she was talking to me about playing, and my character drowned. And then she started crying. She's like, "Oh!" So I'm having to comfort her. It's like, it's
On the game.
okay, it's
Oh,
okay. She's like, you died in the game.
that
And I'm
sounds like
like,
Jazzy. Oh my god!
I don't know. I mean, is it maybe too emotional for sometimes, or is I don't. I mean,
Oh, Jazzy's teacher gave her a flower, and every time one of the little petals came off, she's like, "Oh!" Like
uh,
it's a flower. They die. You don't want flowers to die? Fake ones.
right.
They got down
That's
to there was nothing left on it, and I go, "I think your flower's dead. You can throw it away."
well,
But
it's
that
like I
I
told
like this flower. It's dead. Go throw it away. It's okay.
Jen the same thing. I says she likes flowers too, and I'm like, why buy you real flowers when I go buy you the nice silk ones that last forever?
Yeah, I've got two sets of silk ones up on my
Okay.
computer desk. One set is Dusty's, and one set's mine. They were like from our wedding
Oh.
because we had white. I had a white dress, but I had purple, black, and silver. So
Mhm.
we had the purple flowers, and one of the ladies took these cans, these jars, and made a like a black ribbon with purple trim and silver letters and
All right.
our initial on it. So
I mean, I guess it's a really good example of something that's technology made it to be better, but then it's also no. There's just benefits of having it real, like what.
I don't mind both, but
Right.
I'm more like uh, trying to figure things out.
Mm-hmm.
I can do on I'm like my daughter Dusty. I can do both hands on and book like my dad does. But then I'm like my mom. My mom's straight. She can do more book than she can hands on. But she also like to walk outside with the t-shirts and shorts and no shoes. So I mean, I'm kind of both.
Mm-hmm. And then I guess
I
that's
mean, I used to play sports and everything, but
part of being a
after a
modern
while,
person.
I grew out of it.
What do you think about like the Amish people or people? I mean, I guess they're one of the best examples of people that are living without technology.
I guess if you really don't know about it or have ever tried it, I guess you don't know what you're missing.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, and it's interesting in some ways. They seem to have a really high quality life. Maybe some aspects it seems like they've benefited from.
Probably a better connection with everybody in the family, I suppose.
Yeah, that's a
I
good
mean, they're
point.
not all spread apart all over the world like everybody here is.
Yeah, I just heard a story about how during the pandemic they were they actually they
Midnight. Come on. Got the
yeah.
dog outside. Sorry.
Okay.
He's chasing my dog.
Gotcha. Yeah, I actually heard. Yeah, so yeah, Amish or the Mennonites. They were during COVID, they would still go to church, and because no, that's a big part of their way of living. And what happened was when COVID did hit them, they ended up and everybody ended up getting it, and but they also all ended up surviving it. Like they were really, and then they don't believe in a lot of technology. So I from what I remember, they were not wanting to take the vaccine, and but they've done really well with it. Um, but in addition to that, they've really
Plus, it
been.
also depends on how strong your immune system is, too, really.
Yeah, that's true too. And it seems like they probably have a really strong immune system, but they're not. I mean, I guess we don't always think about it, but there's a
They
lot of
might not be
antibiotics in our.
exposed to as much as we are.
And then we don't have a lot of they don't necessarily have a lot of antibiotics in their food. They
Chase
probably
him.
have, which I know we're more we're definitely susceptible to having antibiotics in our food from our livestock in the traditional world, probably from like the fast food and even some of the foods that we get from the grocery store.
Well, and that's kind of the messed up thing about some of our foods nowadays is even organic. To be honest, isn't truly organic. Yeah, where is he?
Yeah, it's not so simple.
Can't find him.
I know when I was first started learning about like grass fed beef and then I learned well there's a difference between grass fed and grass finished.
I didn't see him run by me.
They
Well,
lost
go get
my
him. Bring his
dog.
ass in. Come on, man, inside.
Sucks.
Did you find him?
I gotta grab a flashlight because I can't see because it's in the dark.
Damn it. Yeah, we got him.
Do not make Mama go yell at him.
He's
Or he's here.
no, he's in.
Come
He's a
here,
runner.
Cheese.
Come here. Come here. He's like, what?
Oh, you're gonna go run and hide because you're in trouble, aren't you?
Of course he is.
Everybody else has the issue. He takes off with everybody else, but Mommy
Except
takes
for
him out.
Mom.
Except Mom takes him out. He sticks in the yard.
Uh,
This is Dusty.
You
Hi,
guys already know
Dusty.
me.
How are you?
She's the one that likes Roblox.
Hey, Dusty.
I never get
You like what do you think about nature and technology,
This one
Dusty?
here. Talk to him. What is in your ear?
Hi, guys.
Hi, how are you? How do you like nature? Do you like going outside and being part of
Yeah.
nature?
Yeah,
What-
it's one of my most favorite things I do.
Oh, nice. What are your favorite parts about it?
I don't remember correctly.
I really remember. Do you like to go out? Do you walk barefoot like your mom?
Usually no.
No. What are your thoughts on walking barefoot? Is it just old school? You don't like to do it, or?
Not very much. Not very much.
Mm-hmm. How about technology? Do you like the video games and the phones, computers, stuff like that?
Yeah, that's my most favorite part of technology.
And you do the Roblox, Roblox.
Yeah,
How did you get into Roblox?
I started in January.
Okay,
It was a
And what do
long
you
time
do?
ago before I started it.
okay. And what do you do while you're playing your games? What
I
makes it
usually
fun?
never get off it. Usually,
do
I never
you
get off.
sometimes think you should, but it's just hard, or how's that work?
I usually do the hard stuff like hobbies. Like I do the easy ones, some hard ones. Even there's like scary ones that have jump scares. Like also like Five Nights at Freddy's on Roblox. all that stuff.
I was
To
I
actually
was
find
telling,
pets in it.
oh yeah, the pets. I think we do.
Yeah,
I play a
you
little bit with
make
my
pizza
daughter.
if
I
you know
gotta
how
say
to
I
do
don't
it.
necessarily understand it, but I play with my daughter a little bit, and I know there's one where you adopt a pet.
Yeah, I remember that game. It's just I forgot the name.
Hmm. And then there's other places we go where there's like a high school or something like that. Um, It's fun.
Hmm.
But I was telling your parents about how have you ever heard of SimCity,
Yeah, there's some city game to build the city.
The Sims?
The way I
Well,
Uh,
wanted.
my
I never
daughter.
heard. I never heard of Sims before, but I never played it.
Oh,
So
okay, you
my
heard it.
best by convincing it.
What?
Mom won't buy it.
My mom always says no.
My daughter made my character once in SimCity, and I was in the pool. My character was in the pool, and it drowned, and she started crying a lot because she
Oh
was so sad
gosh.
that my character passed away. Do you ever experience anything like that in the games? Can they be emotional, or can you separate yourself?
Well, that's information I needed to know about that because I
Sorry,
have
yeah.
never played it, and my
Sorry.
mom always says no. I can never
Okay,
get anything. Always like almost every Friday.
No, you
yeah.
gotta earn it first.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
cool.
every time I work, like help my mom around the house, actually earn things like Robux, maybe. And I also got sister location in Minecraft. Well, I wanted this where like jump scares you. Like there's a like maze sections. Like there's like FNAF 1, FNAF 2, FNAF 3, FNAF 4, FNAF 5, sister location, and there's like FNAF 6, and maybe FNAF 7.
Huh. Sounds like a fun game, but it also seems like it's its own language sometimes. Does everybody that you like are your friends know the lingo and what to say about the games or
Yeah, I have friends at school. There's a school I go to right now. It's called Lincoln School, but I call it Lincoln Elementary. And I have a best friend that plays Roblox. Her name is Grace, and she's same grade. And she plays Roblox like not after school, like I'm always on.
Yeah, and then Riley and Tristan.
Yeah,
how
one that
did
goes to sixth grade and one goes to fifth grade.
my daughter she's younger than you. Like, do you have any tips I could give her on how to stay safe when she's playing these games? How to make sure she's doing well?
Yeah, that's what my parents warned me about.
What are your thoughts on that?
Pretty much informational.
Yeah, okay, so you listen, but you're not sure how to use
Don't give
it.
him anything.
Or you haven't really had a reason to use it.
I have no.
Well, one of her friends seems to have a bad tendency of talking to people she doesn't know.
Alia.
And I'm really big on that. So I try to tell her don't chat like a lot on it,
Mm-hmm.
because we don't know who she's talking to really. It's like I said earlier, we don't know who's on the other end of that computer.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I know my daughter have to be like, who do you know? And I'm probably not even as regular about it as I should be, but I know there's definitely times to be like, who do you know? Or you make sure you're keeping your information private. Do you have friends that you don't know? And then and it's crazy. I've had some people like make her cry, and I don't know exactly what they did to do it. It's like, but because she just breaks down. And it's like most times she's just enjoying it, but every now and then that happens, and that can be concerning sometimes. Do you ever experience that, Dusty, or you?
Yeah, I experienced it. And like I have someone that plays Roblox and she's kind of makes into trouble.
Uh, is
And
that,
like I almost got my messenger account hacked by somebody. I'm like, really? This is dangerous.
yeah, you gotta be careful, and I guess in all life you gotta be careful whether you're on technology or in your nature. Like Like I know some places I go out for walks, I got to be careful for snakes. Like another, I was taking walks by what we call the bosque over here, and I didn't think there was anything wrong, but a couple of days later, I got all these mosquito bites on me. So I was like, oh, and it
Oh
makes
yeah, I
sense.
get those too. I
Yeah,
get those too.
yeah, it was near the water. So yeah, all that makes sense. Do you feel you have a balance of with nature and technology, Dusty?
Instead of technology, I prefer nature.
Okay,
The outside.
Yeah.
that's good. Cool. And then yeah, it seems like you're doing real good with it, and you're listening to your mom and dad. Knows that can be hard sometimes, huh? But
Yeah. I always be starving to my dad.
Uh huh. She is. She thinks that she knows better than Dad does, but Dad still proves her wrong.
Like every time my dad says to let me take a shower, until my mom says when she gets me attracted to something, I'm like, ran. I was like, every time I had to take a shower when my dad says this, I'm like, nope. Until mom says it, until it says the mom lets me be on her computer to play Roblox, and I was like, get ready for the shower.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think it is sometimes. Yeah, sometimes having a daughter, that mother daughter bond can be a little bit
Yeah.
stronger sometimes.
My mom's always the one who attracts me into stuff.
But then I guess that's true. Is like your mother she's your role model. You want to be like your mom someday, and she's
Do you?
probably your hero in some ways.
I prefer to be a Slender Man. I made too much peanut butter.
But
She's
then,
gonna be
yeah,
a doctor.
but then it's good for us dads too. Is our job is to show you like what a man should be. So when you get to that age and you find yourself a guy, do you think about your future and what you want for your future?
Yeah.
What
Well,
would you like?
my dad's goal is for the kids when they are like 18 or something. My dad's been only wanting the kids get out of the house. I was thinking of that goal too.
And you want you to be able to do certain things too, right? Like what is it?
Now I always crack jokes. I tell her she better watch out who she dates because there might be some accidental shootings.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kinda
it's
hard to
for
explain.
us dads
My-
to imagine our daughters dating.
No,
so-
this one's too tall. She towers everybody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Dusty
Like-
stands like almost 5'1", 5'2" at 9 years old. So
Right, like I look right into my dad's eyes.
yeah, she's working. I stand 5'11", and she's getting there to look me in the face. So
Wow.
Yeah,
So,
everybody at
yes.
school, she towers even the fifth graders at school.
Yeah.
yeah, she's only a fourth grader. She towers most of the fifth graders.
Yeah. And actually mostly fourth graders.
More
Yeah, she's a little badass.
Yeah.
What's that like? Do you like being tall?
Yeah. I eat too much peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Thanks to the magical peanut butter. Yeah.
Have you,
Yeah, she's big. She's big into like high protein things, like eating peanut butter, and
Bananas.
she's kind of the more healthy one of the bunch.
Water.
Oh, so nice.
You,
Dusty,
even toast.
we were talking a little bit about. You might actually. I'm curious to hear what you've heard about this. You might know aspects of it we've never thought of. Have you heard of the metaverse and what they're thinking about doing with Facebook?
I'm not clearly sure yet, but my mom taught me how to like send like music stuff on Facebook that time.
Are your friends talking about metaverse and what that means? Do they talk about the virtual reality or anything like that?
No.
No, not really. Okay.
I
Would
know
you
what the game is.
have you heard of the term virtual reality?
Maybe.
Yeah, you've played a little virtual reality, Dusty. Remember my
What's that
VR
game,
goggles?
Your VR goggles.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
You get to
guys
put
got
on
the
your
goggles.
Face.
face with your phone.
Oh yeah.
And then Roblox is kind of virtual reality in some ways. It
Yeah,
seems like.
Roblox has virtual reality.
Okay, I'm tired of sitting.
Sorry. Well, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Bye bye.
Bye.
You want to come say hi?
Ow, my legs can't hold it
This is
anymore.
Jazzy.
Ow.
Jazzy?
She's the one that doesn't get the phone very often.
Okay.
Ow.
And why?
I didn't.
Tell
Don't
her why
worry.
you don't get the phone.
No, legs don't.
I don't get the phone because I don't behave.
And she tends to watch inappropriate things,
Okay.
especially for a 10-year-old.
Well, we were talking about nature and technology. Is there anything that you like about nature?
She's like outside.
Yeah.
Like, what do you like?
I like outside. I like it when I'm outside because you can get fresh air and you can ride your bike.
And
Okay.
you play with bugs.
And I play with bugs.
What kind of bugs do you like to play with?
Bugs, little bugs, worms,
Worms? Okay.
Grasshoppers.
grasshoppers, and those little snails.
Do you pick them up in your hands?
Yeah, and the ones that are snails.
She found out what slugs were.
Oh, okay.
She got to find out what slugs were the other day.
Yeah, and she got to learn about earthworms and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, she can't stand getting dirty herself, but she'll go outside and pick up a earthworm and bugs.
Okay. Yeah, I wonder. I mean, that's part of nature, and I've been kind of. I'm not really. I guess I've grown up in the city. I haven't really done that much. So you're braver than me, Jazzy.
He doesn't like
And then you like the fresh air. What do you like about the fresh air? Does it make you feel good, or
Yeah.
it feels good to get some sunlight? And I know your dad was telling us about how he likes to go around in nature, get sun. And is that something you enjoy too?
Yeah.
Is that something they taught you, or do you think you had that before?
You've had it a while.
I don't know.
You know?
Yeah, she lived out
How
at
about-
Grandpa Ron's farm all the time. So she just
Okay.
got to go wander around with the chickens, cows, and climb on equipment she's not supposed to. You know.
Right. Do you like
Chase
being
the
on the
geese.
farm? You like being on farms, Jazzy?
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of animals do they have on the farm, or what kind of things do they grow?
Chickens,
Chickens? Okay.
What else did he have out there?
cows,
Wow.
Cats.
Cats. Lots of them.
and also a horse.
And a horse?
And a llama.
And a llama.
Yeah, but don't let the llama out. He runs fast.
Yeah.
I had to chase him down once. Never do that when you have asthma. It's not a good thing.
How about technology? Are there things that you like about technology?
No.
You
No?
don't like technology.
Well, I guess when I say technology, is like computers and phones and TVs, stuff like that.
You what? Don't tell me you don't like that stuff. You know better than that. Tell me what you like.
I like
Sometimes you
TV
like- Okay. What do you like about TV?
because whenever Dad puts a movie on, he puts on a real good show.
Oh, okay. Dad's good at picking movies. That's good.
Totally
Yeah.
is.
What else?
Even phones. Because of games.
Can't get her off of it.
Off the phone, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, phones are pretty interesting. We used to not have phones. We used to, when we had phones, pretty much since we've been young, but they used to not do, fun things, but yeah, they would just either push buttons or all they
Take
would
it
do
out,
was
they
just
could go,
call
"Hey."
somebody.
Gee,
hmm They used to not have videos. I don't know. It seems like ancient times.
yeah, you remember the VHS tapes that Dad and I have? See, you guys get DVDs and stuff.
Do you,
Yeah, it's where I think technology is going to actually kill us all at some point because, kids of now and the future aren't going to understand what we all went through, 20, 30 years ago, you know,
Mhm.
because you're going to show them a push button phone and they're going to be like, what's that? You're going to be
Right.
like, oh, that's what we used long before these smartphones came around
With the bad
Yeah.
cell phones.
or the bag phones when cell phones first came out.
Yeah, it's probably always going to be an important reason for someone to know the old school ways of doing things. Like I kind of wonder about that sometimes. Like,
I don't know. My company that I work for is all about nature but I had science with it.
hmm I know, like
And
I
it
know
seems
my
to work for me.
we've had a few different lessons. My wife and I, there's a TV show we like to watch sometimes. It's where people go out in the wilderness and they have to survive for a certain amount of time, like 30 days or
Oh.
something like that.
Well, which
Yeah.
one is it, Survivor or Naked and Afraid?
Naked and afraid.
Those people are whiny.
Yeah.
I was reading something that they've debunked some of those shows. Like Naked and Afraid, it's not truly, I guess, living off the land like that.
hmm
I was reading some things they've debunked some of those myths about those shows. It's like, because you have a medical crew there, you have your production crew, you actually have different things there,
hmm
and you're actually not that far away from civilization either.
Yeah, but probably at some point it's like the people that are videotaping, you can ask them for something.
Well, that's it, or they can give you something off camera, or
Yeah, I don't think they would survive that long without it.
I
Not
can
some of
almost,
the ones I've seen on there.
yeah, most of them that I've seen on there wouldn't survive some of the things like I'm taught to survive with.
She's whiny.
So you were mentioning Survivor. I actually never watched that, but I was just hearing something about how at one point they had women on one island and men on one island, and there's some crazy things that happen with that.
I never quite heard all what happened, but I heard they were doing a Survivor men versus women kind of thing.
Yeah,
it sounded like it was a fiasco.
yeah. Oh, I think the thing I was just hearing about was there was the issue where I guess they got some type of food to eat, but then they put it in a container, and then the container they kept it in there too long and it went bad. And then I guess to clean it out, they ended up putting it in the river that had their drinking water. And
Already know where this is going.
yeah,
See, I told her she should be. That's the best thing about technology is she got to see videos of like Diane Hockman and them similar people like her with ADHD doing more things than what she thinks she's capable of.
yeah, definitely. I'm sure you're capable of a lot, Jazzy. Just we all have to figure out what we can do best and figure out ways to live in this world. It's
No arguing with mom.
yeah, the more we could work better with people, the better. Because we all, I mean, like we all get frustrated sometimes, right? Even mommy and daddy. But we all love each other. That's the big thing.
No, Jazzy's, like I said, Dusty's more the indoor girl nowadays, and Jazzy's more the outdoorsy one. She's not afraid to come out and pick up a cricket or pick up a snail or.
I don't know, about 6 years ago it would have been a different story.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, different story. But nowadays she'll walk out, pick up a rock, Go find a pine cone in the park, or
This one used to be just all electronics, and Dusty was outside with Dad. Now this one's outside and the other one's inside. They switch your roles.
Do you like some of the changes you've been able to make, Jazzy?
Yeah.
That's good. Sounds like you're doing a really great job. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
She's a little nervous.
Okay.
she gets shy when she's this is her first time being in front of the world, you know.
I get you.
See,
Well-
now you can't say you can't talk. How about that? Always tell her. She always says she doesn't talk to people in school. Well, in our day, that was a good thing.
Oh yeah.
Not talking.
Mm-hmm. There's some benefits. I know.
Now
Well-
they found it.
What's that?
She doesn't really talk to a whole lot of people in school.
Oh yeah. Well, I was a quiet kid when I was young. I didn't talk
So was
much.
I. I never talked hardly at all.
Oh yeah.
I was the jabberbox.
That right?
Not me. I was there. I did my schoolwork. I left.
Mm. Yeah, I wouldn't even talk. People asked how I was doing. I would just lift my shoulders. I think that's.
I went to
think
classes. I didn't talk to nobody, and I went home.
Right. I think actually I developed my shoulders. I have pretty good shoulders. I think it's simply from years of doing this.
Who says you need a gym, right?
Right, yep.
It's like I tell everybody, I don't
my
need
daughters up to don't need a gym.
I don't need a gym. I work with heavy steel all day. I move steel around.
Yeah,
You
on
know,
your feet all day.
And depends on the day, you know. A fan can weigh anywhere from 100 pounds to 1,500 pounds, depending
Right.
on what size of fan I'm doing that day.
Do you get to stretch at all? Or is that kind of part of your?
Yep, that's part of our 6 a.m. meeting. Is we stretch most of it's all upper body stretching. You know, like back, shoulders, arms, wrists, fingers. You know, kind of the upper parts of the body, because a lot of times when you're putting stuff together, you know, you're stretched in a weird position, or you're twisted in a weird position, or some of the stuff I do requires you to be pretty nimble and flexible.
Mm-hmm.
And some of it is really tight where you have to try to adapt yourself in any possible way to get into the position to get it done right. So yes, building big industrial air moving fans is not an easy job by any means.
Yeah, I don't only imagine. But yeah, kudos for that. And then, but it also sounds like it helps you be mechanically inclined. Well, I mean, you used to be in the military work on airplanes. Is that right?
Nope, diesel machinery,
Diesel machinery. Oh, okay.
trucks, tanks, generators, basically anything that would move and communicate.
Hmm.
The common thing is we used to work on anything that you could shoot, move it, and communicate with it.
Oh, that's a lot of skills. How does that affect your relationship with technology? Does it sometimes make it easier?
Well, like when I was in the military, a lot of the technologies, like using laptops and stuff to fix engines or program things onto vehicles, was a fairly new technology yet. You know, we still had some of the antiquated equipment from Vietnam, you know, era, you know, up into the present day. And, you know, a lot of us were all taught that, you know, to still how to adjust a valve by hand. You know, take a valve cover off, adjust the slap in a valve, or, you know, some of the newer trucks coming out were becoming computerized that, you know, yeah, we actually did have some laptop stuff with them to work with them, but a lot of us worked on it all a lot by hand without using it.
Okay.
So technology in today's military is a lot more, yes. But there's today's maintenance staff.
Yeah, that's her favorite. And that's her necklace she made.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those things that you
Oh.
can't quite. You tell the kids of today, oh well, I need you to go fix that deuce and a half or a 2.5 ton truck. Well, where's the computer to fix it? You don't fix it with a computer. You do it by hand and sound.
That's for necklace.
Well, we
Yeah.
can't do that.
That was one of
Well,
the
that's why you have us old dogs.
right, and that that's important to protect the people that really can help with the infrastructure that we have. I mean, that's a huge role that you have with the industrial air conditioning. It's like that. People need that. We don't always. I know. I don't know what I would do
A bunch of letters on it.
without HVAC.
Well, that's it. Well, like the fans I build. I mean, we've built fans for hospitals for COVID. You know, big air moving fans to help with COVID.
Oh yeah.
You know, move the, keep your air sterile. I mean, we do fans for just industrial in general. I mean, we make 50 or 60 different styles of fan at my facility. And we've got facilities all over the place in South Dakota. We got 3 in South Dakota, 1 in Iowa, and 1 in Tennessee.
Mhm.
And we all make different styles of fan for different operations. So, like I said, any particular fan that says Aerovent on it or TCF on it, or say Twin City fan, those were either made somewhere here in South Dakota or either in Iowa or Tennessee.
That's a major service, and I've been thinking a little more and more about how does all of this connect? Because we have a lot of people that are out there making sure that our infrastructure is sound. People that are, whether it's the people like you, but like making sure that we're comfortable and able to work where we work, or people that are helping with the electrical grid or driving our groceries to us back and forth. The people that are like Greg, our friend Greg, he's an electric person. We need to celebrate and nurture our people that actually turn the switches on and off for all of our lives.
Well, that's why when this whole COVID thing set in, that we were everybody in the fields, like during COVID, the COVID era here, I was working at our beef plant as a wastewater tech, treating wastewater. And we were all considered essential employees because we were feeding the world.
Right, yeah.
With our beef that we were killing. And then now I'm in another considered essential because we're in air movement, building these industrial fans.
Hey, I'm a one too.
We were considered essential employees because, well, we're building stuff for hospitals, for COVID wards and all that. For building the air movement and stuff to get the bad air out and, stuff like that. So yes, I have no upset about saying I'm a tradesman. I'm glad I work in the trades. So, that's kind of the thing.
I've done it. I've worked trades,
And
customer service.
Yeah, I think we're becoming more important. I don't know if we definitely, it's the way technology has worked. It's like that type of information that's part of nature too, because it's making sure that we have the things we need as a human being in order to survive, and that's actually really the sweet spot of technology. Is like, what are those things that we need to have all the time that we don't always see, because technology makes it seem like it was just a magic wand that brushed over everything.
I don't know. I think they work hand in hand. That's why I say both.
They do. Yeah, there's that sweet spot, because you have to have good air to live your healthiest. You have to have good water to live your healthiest. You have to be able to move the way you
And
need
you
to
have
move.
the technology to either promote it or make sure it's safe, or
Yeah,
so they
communication
kind
is
of work
huge
hand in
too.
hand.
Your ability is not just your ability to do something. Sometimes your ability actually to
Yeah,
get
that's her
things across.
necklace.
Oh, that's beautiful.
They both made
Ah,
about a bead set, so they got to finally use it yesterday. So they were
oh,
off the phone for one day.
okay. And that's
They like it.
good.
They like it because I can. They've learned a little bit of a skill from me. They haven't quite mastered it, but I use parachute rope, or called 550 cord, and
Okay.
I built bracelets and crap out of that.
Yeah, I got
Okay.
my purple one, but he's got to fix because the butterflies don't stay on.
So yeah, I build. I do some hobbyist stuff myself. With my hands. That
Now my
Sweet.
off computer thing is mine, and I got little butterflies that go on them
Okay.
that you made.
I hand weave that.
Oh,
I
nice.
just the other butterfly is missing because the little pin that it sticks in won't stay on it. So
I think it's been an excellent conversation. I'm gonna have to wrap it up a little bit, but I want to give you guys opportunity to say something as we finish up.
I don't know. See, I get off when I do get off the computer and stuff. It's usually puzzles.
Yeah, mom does stuff to keep herself mentally sharp.
That's important. Yeah, I agree with
Hey,
that.
I want a 90,000 piece puzzle. They have this puzzle
Oh,
at this Who's Hobby House in Rapid City. It is 90,000 piece puzzle,
mm.
It's huge.
and that is the one I want. But it's like a $200 puzzle.
Okay.
So that's my goal is to get that
That's
puzzle and make it.
good reward. Yeah. And then you, yeah,
Yeah,
Jonathan.
it's not gonna like Jason said. It's not gonna fit on the table I
Oh, okay.
have.
Yeah, where is that gonna go?
Glued and framed.
Okay. Mhm.
All my puzzles so far I've done are glued up on cardboard, and then I I started framing them also. I used to just put them together and take them apart, but now I glue them.
Gotcha. Yeah. Hmm.
So that's
And
my
that,
relaxing.
and I think that's also good examples. Like our hobbies don't always have to be technology.
Oh no,
Um,
mine aren't usually technology sound most of the time.
My hobbies, like I says, my hobbies are. Jen will tell you the same thing. My hobbies on the weekend usually is you find me hiding out in the shed with the smoker,
mhm.
practicing the old art of smoking meat.
Right. And is that electric, or I mean, I guess it's not really tech.
No
Well, I use
propane.
an electric. Well, like mine, my new smoker's electric, but I've done it on like charcoal grill,
Uh-huh.
with wood chips.
There are different options
I,
with it.
I've done different methods.
Mm-hmm.
I hope
And
he's using the one I got him. It cost me $700.
No, I use that one quite a bit. It's earned its keep and then some.
I bought it for his Father's Day gift.
My ultimate goal is after I get my welder purchased for the shed to work out my garage, that I'm going
Okay.
to actually build my own smoker.
You don't like
Oh, wow. That's awesome to be able to
Rabbit?
build things the way you want and for yourself.
That's my
Rabbit?
ultimate goal, is to build a smoker. So
What I think also too
No,
is
rinse it off in the sink.
a nice thing about nature and technology is that we're able to talk like this. So this is great technology. A big thing about what I've been learning about being a human being is that social component, just being able to have good talks, have good discussions, uplift each other, and
Well, see, that's the best
live
part
good
about
life.
this is because technology in my book, because I can't travel,
well,
so I can,
just go ahead and get in the shower.
I can talk to people on here and not have to drive 8 hours and put myself in pain or have to worry if my heart and my lungs start to go haywire, whether there's a hospital that's capable of doing it within range.
Mm-hmm. Definitely great for safety. And then, well, I think that's all for today. Anything you guys like to share with people, like how to find you? Anything that you would like people to know about?
I'm on Facebook. I do a health and wellness company. If anybody wants that, and I also am part of LifeWorks, and then I also am part of MLSP that does helps you with your training, and a very good program.
Yeah,
I love those
definitely.
guys.
I'm doing more the videos. I'm just getting information out there. But anyone that interested in doing their own video podcast or making YouTube videos or just creating their own content or building a business, that's something I'm involved with. You can reach out to me, LG Lawrence Green. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube, Green Law USA. It says on the bottom. For Facebook, LG, and then Lawrence Green. LG is just my initials. And yeah, if you're interested in building a business, I can help you with that. Jen can help you with that. And then Dan's got some great information, and we're just enjoying this. So if you have any comments and on the replay, please let us know, and we'll get back to you and discuss just that in a later video.
Or if they have a topic.
Huh?
Or if
Yeah.
they have topics.
Yeah, let us know if you
Yes.
have a topic you'd like us to
Definitely on topics, because I guess I kind of cracked the joke. I'm the dark horse of the bunch because I'm the outsider. You know, I'm not really business related. I'm a tradesman, so I'm kind of the hands-on kind of. Well, you call it the wild card, I guess, is what I told Jen the other day. I'm a wild card.
Yeah, and that's good. I mean, because we always want our perspectives. Like, and you really have a great perspective. It really helps us put things together.
He sees it from the non-business view.
Mm-hmm. Just give it to us straight.
Yeah, that's it.
Well,
I'm
he
the
does that-
outside
he
looking
does-
in guy.
That's what he is. He says he's not Willy Wonka. He doesn't sugarcoat things. I always love my parents to always say, "You're not made of when it rains. You're not made of sugar. You won't melt."
My mom said the same thing. I guess.
I remember that too. It's like, oh. Or it's my will against yours, and you will lose. I've heard that one a few times.
Well, my best thing for my final thought is I'm going to quote Clint Eastwood in Heartbreak Ridge. I'm mean, nasty, and tired. I eat concertina wire and I piss napalm. So go piss in somebody else's face. So, but yeah, that's why I said I'm usually I look at myself in these podcasts as the wild card guy or the kind of the what do you want to call it the tradesman of the bunch.
Wait till he meets Greg.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you
We'll have
get
a lot
some
to talk
aspects
about.
we hadn't heard of before. Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
important.
he's a Broncos fan too.
Oh no! No kidding. No. Actually,
Hey, I'm
they're
a
pretty good.
Carolina Panthers fan, so
That's okay.
The
Mike,
Lions, I don't think they had a win yet. It's just
well,
who's yours?
Lions.
Oh,
that's all right.
Jags won 2 games this year so far.
That's okay. We beat Dallas 30-16 today, so I'll take it as a win.
And my team forgot how to play.
Who's your team?
All right.
Carolina Panthers.
All right,
Yep,
guys.
I'm coming.
We'll see you later.
All right, we'll talk to you later.